What's up everybody, it's Kai here, and today we're going to look over the light dragon fight, but with a little twist because this is going to be for tank only, as there are certain things to watch out for. I will be using my video of doing the nightmare version here of this raid as a reference. So let's start going over it. Start is pretty straightforward. You basically just position yourself behind the boss or to the right side of it, and then just start attacking. Now, relatively early on already, there's a pretty high chance he does a counterable attack. You can see it right there. So if you look right there, the way he does it, he charges up to the side with his head, and then he does his counterable attack. So this is it right here. This attack is gonna be counterable. Just shift back or attack at the right time to get a free counter in. Stuns him for a bit, get some free damage in for the team, etc. etc. Now it's pretty straightforward. Just going to continue to hide him, but this is where you have to pay attention as a tank. You see the crystals here, the red circles on two random people. You need to pay attention to these because where they are placed, well, the middle one as an example, you will have to stand there when the boss jumps up. But here we have some party stacks going on, quite simple, just stack together. And then he's gonna jump into the sky. People, both sides, need to activate the crystal to turn them into teleporters. This is not the tank's jobs, however, your job is just, get in the circle and don't die. Now here, your goal, you see the teleporters now spawning. The crystals turned into teleporters, so what you do is you run over here, E-dash or whatever, just get over to this portal, because what's gonna happen is you will see the middle glowing in a second. Right there, you see it here glowing. So yellow color. It's gonna go outside, and you're gonna have to use the teleporter here as a portal to teleport simply to the other side, like I do here, like so. Alright. Now, the next time that happens, there's something important, but I will tell you when it happens. The fire breath is whatever. Everybody can just tank it, but if you really want to, you can stand like here instead. So to the right of the dragon, so it doesn't hit any DPS. But later on, everybody should just be able to tank it very easily. Once again, we have the crystals being on 2 random DPS. With this, you're gonna have to spread out as usual. One here in the middle and one on the outside ring. Once again, he's gonna jump here, so as a tank, quite simple, get to the crystal, don't die. Just be inside, and it nullifies it. That easy. Whenever anyone gets, so these ice AoEs can also spawn on you, the tank. So just make sure you put them on the outside, like preferably on the left or right, like front or back technically if you spawn in. But not on either side, because we're gonna have to use those sides to jump up after this portal mechanic. Now here, okay, hold on, I'll just put that play for a bit. Now here we have the teleporting mechanic again, and here it is. The tank buster of doom, as I like to call it. This tank buster can decide your entire fate of the run. So first of all, you can see I have aggro, so I believe it's most likely to spawn on the player with aggro, in which case most of the time it tends to be me in these raids. So what you do is, you will see me here just running, waiting on the outside here. You have to wait for everybody else to teleport to the other side before you teleport, because any DPS standing in this tank buster will die. So if you teleport early and it goes off, your entire party dies. If you go in too late, you die. But sacrificing yourself is always better than sacrificing the entire team. Keep that in mind. So it's better to enter a bit later than earlier. In CN I had this thing where it's like a ping issue. You will see it here too, where I thought I'm dead, but I'm actually not dead. Because I didn't TP, and then it TPs finally. So I just survive. Another thing is if you're a recovery spec like me, Aegis Ward, you can use it to not die, of course. But you can still be too late to enter the portal, so the rest is pretty straightforward. So the way the crystals work, you see us placing crystals again, it's outward, well it's inward, like it goes like inward then outward, you know, and then inward then outward, just back and forth basically. However, we have here the next mechanic coming up where we jump to each side. Right here you see the arrow spreading out, so you're gonna have to look for these crystals like here. You saw the one up top at the very top here. You will see it when we jump here in a second. These crystals are on the left and the right side of them. These purple and orange crystal on the opposite side. So this is not really a tank worry, but you can see the 100 out of 100 and the 100 out of 100 on the left side. The idea is take down the crystals as close to each other as possible, because if you don't, they're gonna reset. So basically both HPs need to reach like 1 or 0 at, you know, within a few seconds of each other. Otherwise it will reset, and basically that means it's a wipe. So another thing that's gonna happen here is gonna spawn a teleporter in. So if one side doesn't have enough DPS, you can warp to the other side. So as you can see, 81, 86, this one is pretty even, but normally if there's any issues, people will use the teleporter right here, like you see some people do, to help the other side out and to get it that side down faster. And look at it, it's going very evenly, and we just did within time here. They just simply dump down. Don't do what I do here and jump too early, because if you do that, you fall off. However, if you're DPS, you likely die, but since I'm a Giga tank, you know, I just survive, and it basically does nothing to me. I'm going to leave a little disclaimer that this is the nightmare mode, so normal and hard mode may be a bit easier than this. I think there's but less party stacks and things like that. And the way the portals work, the outside. So at this point in nightmare mode, the portal is gonna mix it up. The inside and outside thing, it's gonna go inside first and then outside on the both thing. So you're gonna have to like teleport twice. However, we just killed it very easily there. I'll point out one more mechanic. So there's a mechanic where he spawns 6 orange crystals, and your goal as a tank is to grab a crystal and pull it to the outside as far as possible to make basically a safe spot in the center for DPS. If you don't know what it means, I'll link the guide from Maxwell in the description and you can have a peek at it there, but it's really not too complicated. If you're a tank like Shield Spec or Recovery Spec, Aegis, or I mean Shield Knight, you can also place your bubble that absorbs damage in the middle, and that can also help people survive the hit if you don't get, you know, to the outside in time with the crystals. Anyways, I hope this insight helps a bit for some people, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.